Hello, Art Club members. So last week we drew the hummingbird and filled it with Zentangles and then traced it with a Sharpie marker and colored in some areas black to create a little bit of contrast. So now we're ready to explore what happens with tissue paper and how we can diffuse some color onto our art. So I just had these colors, these warm colors, kind of sitting around, so I'm going to reuse these. And you could cut really any shapes you want. I'm going to try cutting out some circles, so I'm going to cut out some squares here first and stack them all on top of each other and try to cut out some circles all at one time so I don't have to do so many. So let's see here. You could draw this out ahead of time, but I just have a whole bunch of colors stacked up together and I'm cutting out a circle shape. It doesn't really have to be a perfect circle shape, and that'll produce a whole bunch of these little warm colored circles for me to use. And so basically I'm going to cut out a whole bunch of these. I would probably, well, I'll definitely need more than what I've cut out so far. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I can show you with just what I have here. You're going to want to cut out more pieces than this because we're going to be filling this whole area. And basically what happens is there's color within this tissue paper and it will diffuse when you put it on wet paper. So I'm just going to wet the paper in the area around the bird. I'm not going to touch the bird, I'm not going to wet the bird, I'm going to try not to drag my arm across the bird as I do this. So I'm just getting this corner wet for now, and then I'm going to start laying these circles down on the wet paper, and I can overlap them a bit here and there. I'm just kind of balancing out the colors and overlapping and filling up the area that I wet. So then I'm just going to press these down on the water, and I probably want to be careful how I do that with my hand because I could start to smear it. And I'm just going to go ahead and get these a little bit more wet and see if I can get them diffusing a little bit more than they are. So I'm going to explore a little with wetting mine on top also. Oops. And we'll see how they diffuse the color. Looks like I might have gotten mine on my bird a little bit. Oops. And so I'm going to watch this carefully, and then just as it looks like it's diffusing, I'm going to peel these up so I'm left with just the print of the color around my bird. You might want a pair of tweezers. You don't want to use your hand. Mine overlapped my hummingbird a little bit, but I'm not really worried about that. It looks pretty cool. So then I'm just going to wet another area, and with more circles that I've cut out, I'm going to lay those on top. I can wet them on top if I want to, and then let them diffuse for a moment and then pick them up. And it'll leave behind this, oops, I have one more here that I didn't peel up. 2 more. 3 more. It'll leave behind this sort of watercolor blended look. And I like to use colors that are near each other on the color wheel. So think about your color wheel and how it goes in rainbow order. Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, or purple. And choose colors that are close to each other. And so then you're just going to work your way around the bird and fill the whole rest of the white space, and you'll have a beautiful artwork.